Welcome back. We begin our first inaugural debate on governorship. We start with Nairobi County, and this, of course, are the first two amongst many who are running for governorship of Nairobi. Introducing Karanja Kabage, who's a businessman and a lawyer. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you.
Timothy Miroki, the current chairman of NCBD,
Asante.
Nairobi Central Business District
Thank you.
Association.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, welcome. Just before this debate starts, I think I want to wish you all the success in your race to that one important chair. Let me start first with asking you, the two of you, to comment on the big story. The president has refused to assent to the bill that allows the provincial administration to still be linked with central government. Let me start with you, Timothy. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with the president?
Well,
or do you not agree?
Jimmy, you recall that I did comment on this issue when the bill was still in its early stages.
Right.
And my thoughts were that county governments cannot be left out of the area of security. And I said that because I had a specific reference to Nairobi, whereby security is one of the most, and will be one of the most important drivers to this economy of ours in Nairobi County.
Right.
And therefore, you cannot expect that the governor will be somewhere away from where the security matters are being discussed.
Right.
But as we are looking at that, I think you also need to look at now the larger picture, all the other counties. Can they fully manage their own county security, or does the national government need to be involved? I think this is where the president is coming in, and I think this is the area that needs to be harmonized. Further to that, the fact that we have county governments, I still think that we do not need to forget the fact that national government will still be very active, and that the 85% of the undevolved funds still needs to be invested, and there needs to be the national government needs to be represented in devolving these funds. So they need to have an infrastructure. That infrastructure is what needs to be harmonized, so that it does not look like it is overseeing the very same county governments that we created for independence and for devolution of power and resources, and therefore this is I think an issue that needs to be looked at further.
So you support the president's move, or do you
I think the president has good reason. However, I do not think that the executive need to overstep their own powers or feel allergic to the fact that they're losing some power.
Karanja.
Well,
because you're a lawyer, so.
First of all, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the sad moment this country has experienced for the last few days for the loss of two very distinguished Kenyans.
Absolutely.
The Honorable John Njoroge Michuki, Minister for Environment, and also the Honorable James Jenga Karume, former Member of Parliament for Kemba. It's a sad moment for all of us Kenyans to have lost very distinguished men who have worked very hard and who typify certain very fundamental values of hard work, discipline, something that all of us as Kenyans really should emulate. Now, regarding your question as far as the decision by the president to decline to assent to the county government bill, there are a number of aspects one needs to look at. First of all, if you look at Article 6 of the Constitution, 2, it says that government at national and county levels are distinct and interdependent and shall conduct their relations in mutual respect on the basis of consultation and cooperation.
Consultation and cooperation.
That's very, very distinct. Then you look at the Article 179 of the Constitution. It says very clearly that the county authority is vested in the county executive committee. Who are the members of the county executive committee? It is the governor, the deputy governor, the 10 members of the executive committee. These are the people who have been donated with the trust and the mandate by the Constitution. It's not a national law. It's the mother law. Now, you ask yourself, if the governor, therefore, has been vested with this mandate, how is it possible that you can have DCs and DOs, or so-called provincial administration, and they do not report to the authority of the governor? Because then you are saying the powers that are vested in the county executive, it is going to be interfered with by another authority in the name of DCs and provincial, generally provincial administration.
Is that a fear that you have?
No,
is that,
not a fear.
Or is that in reality?
I'm not fearing anything. I'm simply stating, deriving from the constitutional mandate that has been given to the county government, it is not possible to have some imposition of some other people, whether it's from the central government or whatever it is, to come and interfere with the running of the county. And security is very fundamental. There's no question about that. So if you have got authority, but you cannot be able to oversee the security of a county, then there is going to be a very serious void. And to that extent, therefore, I believe that when the framers of the Constitution said that there is going to be provincial administration that must accord with the new constitutional dispensation, it is understood to mean that that provincial administration must of necessity be subservient
to the governor
and subordinate to the county executive.
So you disagree?
That's what it means. I totally disagree with the president in this particular respect.
My apologies for not allowing you into this debate. By the way, you can send your questions to the two individuals who are running for the position of Governor of Nairobi. The number is 2442. That's 2442. What are your thoughts? What are your questions that you'd like to accord or you'd like to give to our guests this morning in as far as what their proposals, what they will do when they become governors of Nairobi? Why really you should give them your vote in as far as the Governor of Nairobi? 2442. Throw us a line also on our Facebook page, which is Power Breakfast Show, and Twitter. Send us a line on @power_breakfast. Moving on very quickly, just looking at a question here from our Facebook page, and the gentleman, Levi Ombui, says, in your first 100 days, I'm told this to Timothy, in the position, what will be the priorities in the respective county, in Nairobi County? What will be your priority?
Thank you, Jimmy. My agendas, or what I would call my 3 pillars, are like as follows. 1 is security and safety, 2 is jobs and opportunities, and 3 is infrastructure. Let me just elaborate that more. I'm in no doubt whatsoever that security is the most important pillar in Nairobi County. This is what is going to be the driver of our economy in this county. And this is what, by the way, has been ailing us. The reason why we cannot drive a 24-hour economy properly, a real 24-hour economy, is because of security. And whereas I'm going to be placing a big premium on community policing, I would like to say that issues like working with the Inspector General of Police, as provided in Chapter 14 of the Constitution, we should be able to establish a Nairobi County Police Unit. That is something that we must do within the first 100 days. Number 2, we must revolutionize the way we do our security. In other words, those things that we have been doing on a pilot basis, the CCTV, must be actualized, because this is something that the government has slept. You know, we must be able to police our county in a manner which is going to produce good results. So that is insofar as security is concerned. Number 2 is creation of jobs and opportunities. We must make our county an investment destination for the region. Yes, it is, but we can make it better than it is today. We must respond to the private sector needs. There are a huge myriad of issues that have arisen in the past in this county that have not been properly addressed, that should be able to drive the private sector to drive our economy here in Nairobi. And remember, Jimmy, 60% of our national GDP
comes from this.
is generated here. So if we work properly, then it means that we are driving the nation. And therefore, we need to be a catalyst in this county. The county government needs to catalyze economic activity in order to be able to make us a better nation.
And your last
on the same issue of jobs and opportunities, we must be sensitive to micro and small enterprises. I'm saying that the Mama Boga and the Mama Tomatoes and the SMEs, we must respond to them. We must provide them with markets. They must be able to trade. We must make them vibrant, not chasing them all over. It's like they do not respond to the needs of the market. So that is under the creation of jobs and opportunities. And we are very serious about the small trader because that forms the basis of our county. We are very serious about the Wakulima market because that is where we generate most of our income. We are very serious about Gikomba. We are very serious about Kirinyaga Road. That is not to mean that we are not responsive to the person who is doing big business on
new business.
Or new business.
Lastly, you're running out of time.
On our infrastructure, I think there is a biggest issue of public transport that I am not able to drive here or to come here in a bus. And why is this? Because our public transport is not responsive to the common wananchi. Whereas we think it is, it's not. It's not safe. Exactly. I know I'll receive
Many will wonder whether we still have a public transport system.
We do have a public transport system, but it's not safe.
It's
it's not responsive to, it's not accessible to everyone.
Right.
And I think we must systemize it. We must make it more efficient. We must involve the very people who are there, not chasing away the ones who are doing it. The same people are the ones who are going to do it. They're the ones who are going to provide those services, but are under a framework, under a structure. Because our role is to provide a structure that is strong and that is responsive. We must make people pay fares fairly. Not that when it rains, they are paying 200 bob. And when it is sunny, they are paying, 100 bob. And where I'm at that, we must make it accessible to all ages. Then there are issues of housing, water, and power. Under the Bill of Rights, these are rights to everyone. And therefore, we must do that. And lastly, under that infrastructure issue, we must provide a clean environment free of garbage to everyone.
You need to expand a bit more on that, and I'll get back to that shortly because there's a question specifically for that in terms of what your strategy is. Let's get to you, Bwana Karanja Kabage. First 100 days, what are your, do you have pillars or what will your strategy be in terms of stamping your authority as a new governor of Nairobi?
I think first, let's just demystify this so-called 100 days.
It's a cliche, in terms of what you will do.
It's a cliche that is sometimes it's very much borrowed from the U.S. What the American president will do in 100 days and so forth. Let me tell you, Nairobi's challenges are enormous. First, let me address one issue which is of very great concern to me. My number one priority is to make sure that we clean Nairobi.
Number one priority?
Priority number one. Because for me, a society that is dirty is a society that is going nowhere.
Sure.
When you look at Kawangware, Kangemi, Kibera, Mathare, Ruai, and all these places, where 70% of the people of Nairobi live, it's so dirty, it's unbelievable. So to me, my first priority is that I want to make sure that I'll buy gumboots. And overall, myself, I'll be the number one cleaner. My first job in Nairobi is to clean Nairobi. That's the first thing that we're going to do. So within the first 6 months, I want to give the guarantee to the people of Nairobi. By the end of six months,